leave church when an old couple approached me. They looked very friendly and invited me over to lunch at a nice restaurant. There, they asked me if I already had a boyfriend. When I said no, I don't, they showed me a photo of their son and asked me if I was interested in going on a date with him. I responded, "He looks like a great guy, but this is a bit too awkward for me. If you come eat dinner with our son, we can pay you $1,000. And if you become his girlfriend, we can pay you much more." I had a bad feeling about this and wanted to say no, but I also needed the money, so I agreed. We all met up at the same restaurant the next day, and I took a seat right in front of their son. His name was Matthew, and he was really handsome. We talked for quite a while until his dad whispered into my ear, "You have to flirt with him harder. If you ask him out on a date, I'm gonna pay you another $2,000. "But why do you want me to do that? He's a handsome guy. I'm sure he can find a girlfriend himself." "That's the problem. Right now he's dating a psycho girl that has been arrested several times. You have to use your beauty to seduce him and steal him away from her. And if you're gonna become his new girlfriend, we're gonna pay you another $50,000 in cash." To be honest, I felt definitely attracted to Matthew, so I kinda enjoyed seducing him. I laughed about his jokes and kept smiling at him. But when I asked him out on a date, he said, "I'm sorry, but I'm already dating a girl." I didn't give up though and said, "That's okay, but can you help me move out of my apartment tomorrow? I need someone strong to help me." I could tell he was hesitant, but he was a nice guy, so he agreed to help me. Of course, there was no real move out, so I had to fake one. It was a complete waste of time and energy, but after he had brought all my furniture into a truck, I told him I had a special reward for him. I took him out for a private picnic in a small garden. It was very romantic, and I was wearing a very tight top. We were laying next to each other on the grass talking for hours. The vibe was so good I asked, "Can I lie on top of you?" "What do you mean?" And then I just went on top of him saying, "Sorry, my back hurts, I need a pillow." I could feel he enjoyed it, so he stayed like that until the sun set. Our date ended with us exchanging numbers, and just 2 days later, he called me up asking me out on another date. I gotta admit, I felt like a superhero. Not only had I successfully seduced a handsome guy, but I had also rescued him from a psycho girl. When we finally became an official couple, I went to his parents to collect my $50,000 reward. Fortunately, they gave it to me without hesitation, even though the dad asked me, "Will you continue to date our son?" I responded, "Probably yes, but I can't guarantee anything." "Look, you're the perfect woman for our son, and we would love to welcome you into our family. And if you're gonna marry him someday, you will never have to work another day in your life." "I'm sorry, but I won't marry someone for money." "Are you sure? If you marry our son, we can give you $500,000 as a wedding gift, and that's just the start." We can give you $500,000 as a wedding gift, and that's just the start. I really tried not to think about the money and only spend time with Matthew because I liked him. But the idea of never having to work again stayed in the back of my mind. And because Matthew was brought up with a religious background, he asked me to marry him after just 1 year of us dating. I immediately said yes, even though I can't say that I was madly in love with him. To make things worse, I still hadn't told him that his parents set us up as a couple. I was just too scared it would destroy our relationship. Once we were married, I enjoyed my new relaxed rich life where I didn't have to work. But it got so boring after a few weeks that I quickly found a new job as a high school teacher. And it was so much fun, especially because I met Derek. He was a math teacher, and I could never stop laughing when he made fun of me for only being an English teacher. Spending time with Derek felt like magic, and that confused me. Had I made a mistake by getting married to Matthew? I wasn't sure, but Matthew was already trying to get me pregnant. He really wanted a child, but what he didn't know was that I was secretly taking the pill. And then Derek asked me out on a date. Of course I said no, but when he asked me why, I didn't tell him that I was already married and instead told him I was just too busy. When I arrived home that day, without thinking, I told Matthew that I wanted a divorce. Of course he was shocked. For him this came out of nowhere because he thought we were a happy couple. And I felt bad for him, but I also knew that it was the right thing to tell him. Unfortunately, he couldn't take it. For the next few days, he kept begging me to stay with him. Meanwhile, his parents wrote me dozens of angry messages insulting me. I tried to ignore them all, but Matthew followed me everywhere. I got so sick of him that I wrote him the following message. "Leave me alone. You and your stupid parents make me sick. Did you know that they paid me $500,000 to marry you? Don't get me wrong. I thought I loved you. But now, I know that I don't, and I'm sorry it took me so long to realize it. He responded, "How could you do this to me?" and then came to the apartment I was staying at every single night, hammering against the door. In the end, I even had to get a restraining order because while I was on a date with Derek, he came into the restaurant and made a huge scene, screaming at me and calling me names. Afterward, I had to tell Derek the whole story of how I had married Matthew. It was quite embarrassing, and I'm pretty sure he sees me in a different light now. I hope he isn't scared that I'm gonna lie to him just as we can give you half.
I've been living in this orphanage for as long as walked past me. I saw Viola standing at the class.